1990, Chub Rock jumps up on the scene with a lean and a hardcore dream. The dream wasn't crafted to be pornographic. Decency started from the crib plus kids. Don't need to hear all of that on the rap. The strength of my vibe placed Chubbs on the map, cause authority, seniority goes forth me. My staff gives autograph plus gives enough laughs. Read my light, heed my sight, I definitely lead you right to treat me right. Peace.
It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Everywhere, people pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with a touch of repossessed my car. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Standing on the front stoop, hanging out the window, watching all the cars go by, roaring as the breeze blow. Crazy lady living in a bag, eating out of garbage pails. Used to be a fag hag, such as the tango. Skipped the life and dango, a zircon princess, seen the lost her senses. Down at the peep show, watching all the creeps, so she could tell the stories to the girls back home. She went to the city and got so did it. She had to get a pimp, she couldn't make it on her own. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
My brother's doing fast on my mother's TV. Says she watches too much, it's just not healthy. All my children in the daytime, Dallas at night. Can't even see the game or the Sugar Ray fight. The bill collectors, they ring my phone and scare my wife when I'm not home. Got a bum education, double-digit inflation. Can't take the train to the job, there's a strike at the station. Me on King Kong, standing on my back, can't stop to turn around. Go for my sacroiliac, a mid-range migraine, cancer, membrane. Sometimes I think I'm going insane, I swear I might hijack a plane. Don't push me, call, I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you guys hear me in the back? I need to know if you guys can hear me out there. Chris Norwood, can you hear me? All right, can you hear me in the back out there? All right. We're getting ready to get this party started, all right? We're gonna mix some old school with some new school. But the thing about it is I need to see everybody on the dance floor. I don't want to see no wallflowers, okay? Because you got to go. This is a dance party, baby.
Go to school because the teachers,
you know.
must think I'm a fool, and all the kids smoke reefer. I think it'd be cheaper if I just got a job, learn to be a street sweeper. I dance to the beat, shuffle my feet, wear my shirt and tie, and run with the creeps. Cause it's all about money, ain't a damn thing funny. You got to have a con in this land of milk and honey. They push that girl in front of the train, took her to the doctor, so the arm on the game. Stabbed that man right in his heart, gave him a transplant for a brand new start. I can't walk through the park cause it's crazy after dark. Keep my hand on my gun cause they got me on the run. I feel like an outlaw, broke my last jaw. Hear them say you want some more, living on a seesaw. Don't push me, call, close to the edge. Trying not to lose my head. Say what? It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you'll go through. You'll grow in the ghetto, living second rate, and your eyes will sing a song of deep hate. The place that you play and where you stay looks like one great big alleyway. You'll admire all the number book takers, thugs, pimps, and pushers, and the big money makers, driving big cars, spending 20s and 10s, and you wanna grow up to be just like them. Smugglers, scramblers, burglars, gamblers, pickpocket peddlers, even panhandlers. You say I'm cool, I'm no fool, but then you wind up dropping out of high school. Now you're unemployed, all non-void, walking around like your pretty boy Floyd. Turned stick-up kid, but look what you done did. Got sent up for an 8-year bid. Now your manhood is took and you're a Maytag. Spend the next 2 years as an undercover fag, being used and abused to serve like hell. Till one day you was found hung dead in the cell. So plain to see that your life was lost. You was cold and your body swung back and forth, but now your eyes sing the sad, sad song of how you live so fast and die so young. So don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Yo, Mel, you see that girl, man? Yo, that sound like Cowboy, man. Cool. Yo, what's up, buddy? Yo. Hey, where's Quill and Raheem, man? They upstairs cooling out. So what's up for the night, y'all?
Yo, we can go down to the feet, man.
Go check out June, bud. Hey, yo, you know that girl, Betty? Yeah, man. My mom's got balls, man. Yeah, she got her.
Free, don't nobody move nothing. Y'all know what this is. Get him up. Get him up.
Man, we down with the Flash and the Furious Five.
What is that, a gang?
No.
Shut up. I don't hear you now. Shut up. So what's the problem? You the problem. Yo, you ain't got the push car. Get in the car. Get in the gas. Get in the car.
How everybody doing tonight? Okay. First, let's do this. Let's give applause to yourself for showing up. Because without you, it's not about the Jets. I'm gonna have a little speech real quick. And the speech is like this. 33 some years ago, 2 different conversations went on. My boy Chris Norwood was watching a movie called Sophisticated Jets. David Davis and Howard Wyatt was talking about getting something together about us. Howard said, hey man, I seen this movie about Sophisticated Jets. Dave calls Chris. Chris says he's seen the movie.
Excuse me. Hello? Excuse me, everyone. People at the bar. People at the bar. Can you guys hear me?
Bobby, can you turn up the mic?
Hello? Can I get everyone's attention, please? Jonathan, the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you, Kurt. So like I was saying, Dave and Howard calls Chris up. Chris knew about this movie, Sophisticated Jets. And the whole thing, we all hung out together. We was all Sunny Hills kicking it like that. That's how we did back in the days. Well, we didn't have a name for ourselves. So Chris Norwood, David Davis, and Howard White came with the name Sophisticated Gents. So we decided to say, hey, that's kind of cool. Let's kick it like that. Then we decided, how we gonna do this? Let's start throwing some parties. So we're gonna get to that stage in a little bit about the parties and stuff. But I want to bring up some individuals up to the stage real quick. The original Gents. So as I call their names, they'll come to the stage. Curtis, come to the stage. Holly, come to the stage. Will, come to the stage. Will, come to the stage. Big Will, come to the stage. Put the drink down and come to the stage. Derek, come to the stage. Chris, come to the stage. Derek, Dave, come to the stage. We got two individuals behind us. Bobby and Hector, the Spinning Gents. They already at the stage. I'm gonna say something real quick. Now listen to this. A group of men out to please. So all pretty ladies, rest at ease. We appreciate ladies as common sense. We're the men of romance, Sophisticated Gents. That's how we roll back in the days. I still got that. That's how we do things. Now, I'm gonna give the mic to my boy Kurt real quick. Shut up. So, Kurt, take it to the next step.
I will. Okay, listen up, everyone. I need everyone's undivided attention right now, please. Everyone's undivided attention, please. Philly. Thank you. Okay, this next person I'm going to introduce, there's a story behind it. And I'm the one that needs to tell the story.
Don't lie.
In the summer of '76, that's when I entered Milpitas. And I went to school at Willard. And there at Willard, of course, coming from San Francisco, you know, the ghetto, stuff like that, you know, I was kind of a little hood rat. And so while I was there at Willard, you know, I met Chris, not Collie, but Jonathan, Mau, which is Charles, and Tim Wyatt, and I think Tony Wyatt as well. So at my time at Willard, I used to just beat up on people back in the day. That's just how I was. That's how I rolled. And it got to a point where Tim Wyatt, who's not here, I started beating up on Tim every day. It was just like a routine. I don't know why. So
He was the bully.
I was a bully. Please God forgive me. But anyway, so you know, every day after school, I would just beat him up. Just every day. I don't know why I was just doing it. I was just doing it. So he goes, "Well, I'm gonna get my brother." I said, "Go get your brother. I don't care." So one day after school, as usual, everyone was lining up, getting their butt kicked out, you know, doing my stuff. Then this guy comes up. Name was Howard, which is one of the Gents. So Howard goes, "Hey man, why are you beating up my brother?" I said, "Oh, you got your big brother here to come and help you?" I said, "Okay, come on, let's do this." You guys remember that TV show where Bruce Leroy? So, you know, I'm getting ready, and I'm showing up in Howard's Bruce Leroy. So, I'm getting ready, I'm doing, you know, I said, "Come on, let's do it." Next thing you know, oh shit. Sure enough, you know, I get the, yeah, I'm doing this. I said, yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. Next thing you know, I'm just, when is he gonna stop? And he's going, I'm like, I remember when my mom used to beat me, she never stopped. This cat kept going. I'm like, what is up with this? Then he picked me up, Tim kicked me on my way up. I never forget this. He picked me up, he said, man, this is not cool, you should not be doing this. And I took that to heart. That began my change. That's how I met Howard. Number 2. And since then, he and I used to go over there every day, you know, spend time over there. And I will never forget that guy. He was very inspirational in my life to stop my madness because I was really out of control. Thank you, Chris. Wait, hold up. Wait a second, man. This is a true story here. This is very significant. Remember in 7th, 8th grade, Chris? I went to school every day. Every day, this guy named Alex, he used to follow me home every day after school for what was it, about a week and a half. And he wanted to fight me because he was king of the school. Anyway, I was afraid to fight this guy because I didn't want to get beat up by Howard again. And that's a true story. And then I called Howard. Actually, I went over to Howard's house and said, hey, Howard, this is what's going on. Chris didn't know about this. I go, this is what's going on. This guy is beating, you know, he's taunting me. This guy's taunting me. He goes, you know what, Curtis? He says, go ahead, do what you gotta do. Boy, the end of the school, I mean, we had a whole conglomerate of kids going to Sunday Hills Park. And I said, Chris, let's go. Hear that, Chris? And I whooped his tail. I told Howard, he said, okay, you're good. But anyway, that's my story about Howard. I love him. We miss him very, very much. And I got to get the mic up. There you go.
We're going to stay on the same subject with Howard. I want everybody to clap their hands for Howard. We're going to bring to the stage Zuni. Come to the stage. Somebody has to step up here and stand in the spot for Howard. Nobody can do it but Zuni. Now, folks who know about Howard and Zuni understand when she's going to walk up to the stage and complete the gents right now. Come on to the stage, girl. Please give a hand for Zuni, everybody. We appreciate that. We got a few more speeches to go. We got some more tributes to do. We have a shirt we're going to give to Zuni because we have a special shirt you're going to see a little bit later. But right now, Zuni gets the first one. How about you can open it? It's yours. You can open it. You get the first shirt. This is a sophisticated gent shirt. She represents Howard for us. This one right here makes the gents complete. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Now, Mr. Dixon, take it to the next level.
I just found out that I had to do something. I was told by Mr. David Davis. But at the same time, I have no problem speaking and saying what I want to say, because back in the days when we grew up, we threw these house parties. And we had these parties. And these parties was on Taylor Street. And at the same time, somebody that lived on Great House just running his mouth to the side and shut up. Because if it wasn't for Mrs. Norwood to allow us, not Great House, Taylor Street, be quiet. because Mrs. Wilson wouldn't allow us to do what Mrs. Norwood did. Mrs. Norwood allowed us, and she opened up her home for a bunch of 16.
We're okay, folks. Just relax.
Give some air, guys. Yeah, back up, back up.
Everybody just step back. Give us some air, please. Thank you.
Okay, Sandy, I'm going to
No, I said